For this one. Just bought, actually ended up buying a couple of 1986 Topps baseball sets. Um, the first one I bought was so beat up that I actually had to contact the seller and let him know how bad it was. And hold on, let me find my stream so I can keep up with the chat. Fortunately, it doesn't look like anybody's here yet. I don't even see. I don't even see my video. Let me see. There we go. All right. Well, that's not the way to get to it. Let me see. Refresh. There we go. All right. So yeah. So I ended up getting two 86 Topps baseball sets. The first one I bought was so beat up that I contacted the seller and said, yeah, this set's trash. It basically looks like if I had kept all of the cards from my childhood and tried to throw together a set. It's basically what it would have looked like because they were all sorts of beat up. So they ended up giving me half off, which was, I guess, appropriate because the stack of cards that had damage was well over 100, and so I used that money to put towards a second set. And so, hey Jay, what's going on? So I ended up getting a second set, and this set right here looks fantastic. I mean, it almost looks like it was just put together, crisp corners and everything. Uh, but I actually started piecing together the cards that were beat up in the other one. That's pretty much what it looked like. Sorry about my horrible handwriting, but 68 cards with minor bad corners, 67 with minor creases, 40 cards were major damage. So I had 177 cards that I had to replace. So it was brutal. So I've started piecing that together. I bought something like 120 of them from a seller for about $14, which is almost half the cost of the set itself. Hey, Hawaiian 50, thanks for coming. So I figured this would showing this set would be a little bit too long to put in one of my after party videos. So I thought it would be appropriate to kind of come here live and just kind of show the set for anybody that hasn't seen the 86 Topps. The reason I decided to buy the 86 Topps is although I started getting cards in 1985, I really didn't get into baseball until like 1986. And this 1986 Topps set was really the first set of cards that I focused on, picking up and collecting other than individual players and stuff. I've mentioned before, the first two cards I ever had were actually football cards. It was a 1983 Jim McMahon rookie card and a 1986 William Refrigerator Perry. And those were the first two cards that I ended up picking up. But this 86 Topps baseball set was really what got me started in the hobby. And so I wanted to get a full set and, just basically have it on hand. It's not a major set. I mean, I love the design, but there's no real major rookie cards in it. But actually, when I was buying the second set, it actually came with the Topps Traded set. And this is where all the great rookies are. This thing is loaded. Barry Bonds, Jose Canseco, Andres Galarraga, Bo Jackson, Bobby Bonilla, Kevin Mitchell, just loaded with fantastic players. Will Clark. Just that's where the rookies are. But this set still has a lot of nostalgia, so I decided to pick this up. So this box is kind of stacked, so let me do the best I can. Try to get some of these out without damaging anything. And we'll just go through this set. All right, I should be able to work with that now. Hey Frank, what's going on? Yeah, so I don't know if I don't know how long it's going to take me to go through 792 cards. Back in the day, they really put these sets together, but I'm going to try. So we got card number one, Pete Rose. Um, I think it's an appropriate card to have as the card number one of the set. Hopefully that focuses. Hey Ambient, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Hey Will. So yeah, so there's the Pete Rose. I try to keep that on camera. And so he also had a sort of a Pete Rose, I think they're Pete Rose specials, Pete Rose years cards. Right after that, I think there's 4 or 5 of them. And I love these because they show all of his vintage cards. Oh, nice, Frank. I need to get a new laptop. Mine's pretty bad. It does everything I need it to do, but the camera's bad. I can't really use it for videos. Oh yeah, that 65 Rose. I think the earliest Rose I have is 73. But I definitely love to get that, especially the 64, the Gold Cup. Love that card. This looks kind of fuzzy on my phone. Does it look okay? I don't know why it's not focusing. Maybe I have to move the box. Maybe it's focusing on the box. Let me move that out of the way. See if this fixes it. Yeah, looks like it's a little better. Yeah, so this one right here, that's the most, I guess the oldest Pete Rose I have. I think I have a 74 as well. Okay, cool. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, because I ended up with two of the sets unintentionally, and I guess the other one's still kind of incomplete. I think I need 28 cards or something to finish it off. I might use this as kind of TTM fuel. I know getting the complete set would be next to impossible. I know Adam's trying to do it, but just off the top of my head, I know Donnie Moore and Eric Shaw died in the late 80s. So there can't be a whole lot of their autos out there. And then Billy Martin as well. Hey, Ryan, what's going on? So I don't know how easy it would be. And like I said, I know Adam's doing this set, so I might just choose another set. Um, just so I'm not doing the same thing Adam's doing. But I definitely like these cards and like this set. I think I have the 76 and 78 Pete Roses as well. Hey, Renslow. Thanks for stopping by. I think I have the 81. So I've got some pretty nice Pete Roses. I can go on record right here. Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't understand, and I'm going to get on my soapbox here. I don't understand how you can have a baseball Hall of Fame and not have the all-time hit king or the all-time home run king in it and call yourself a Hall of Fame. Oh, I love that 55 Bowman, the TV sets or the TV design. Those are awesome. I love those, and the Desert Shield. Yeah, I heard you talking about that in your video. That's going to be a hard one to put together. Definitely fun though. Yeah, yeah, 100% Jay. So moving on from the Pete Roses, we've got Dwayne Murphy. I mean, just look at the design of these cards. 1986, Topps did it right. I just love it. And I love any cards with a black border because when you can get them in mint condition, they look fantastic. And another thing I really liked, especially as a kid, now I guess it's not on this one, but there are several ones that there's like a little cartoon down at the bottom that says something like Talking Baseball. And this is when the cards were actually made out of cardboard. Let's see if I can find one of those talking baseballs. No, not yet. Got Roy Smith. And I'll try not to spend too much time on each card unless we get to a significant player like the one coming up. The late, great Tony Gwynn. Oh, I was a huge fan of Tony Gwynn. Man, he had one of the sweetest swings. And when you can get praise from Ted Williams, you know you're doing it right. And Ted Williams and Tony Gwynn had a special relationship, that's for sure. Mutual respect for each other. There we go. Talking baseball. I love these little comic strips that they put on the back of some cards. A little bit of trivia, a little bit of information. Yeah, that's just great. All right, so next we got Bob Ojeda. Pretty nice pitcher. Jose Uribe. He's a pretty decent shortstop for many years. Oh, thanks, Frenslow. I appreciate it. Got Bob Kearney. Kind of like those old Mariners logos. Not so much the uniform, but the logo was cool. Next, we got Julio Cruz. I think there's some really nice photography in this set as well. Nice action shots, some portraits. Eddie Whitson. Just looking through these cards, there's so much nostalgia. I know the first three teams that I kind of focused on. The guy that got me into collecting was a huge Cubs fan, so I was collecting a lot of the Cubs in this set. The same with the Red Sox, because my mom grew up in Massachusetts, and my grandparents were big Red Sox fans, so I would collect the Red Sox. And then my other grandfather, on my dad's side, lived in Houston, so I was collecting a lot of Astros cards. And although I eventually became a Rangers fan, I really didn't focus on them too much. But you kind of got what you got in the packs. But I'd always pull out those teams, put them aside. Oh, Rick Shue does TTMs, huh? Oh, that's good to know. Got Mike Stenhouse. Oh, who's his dad? Got Brent Gaff. You got Rich Hebner. This is a guy that needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Sweet Lou Whitaker. Dave Stenhouse, huh? I'll have to see if I have any cards of his. They didn't do father sons in this. They did it in '85, I think. I kind of like the '88 score. Um, I had quite a bit of it when I was a kid, and it's kind of bland today. But at the time, I liked like the first 100 were one color, and the next 100 were another color, and I really liked that score traded set with Alomar and Biggio and Chris Sabo was really big at the time. Walt Weiss, and I remember having that score traded set for a while. That thing shot up. Now you can find them for about 10, $15. But yeah, Lou Whitaker needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Make it right, Hall of Fame. You put Harold Baines in, you can put Lou Whitaker in. We got George Bamberger. Got Dwayne Walker. Those old Ranger uniforms. There's another talking baseball. This was a pretty decent player. Manny Lee. I guess he eventually went by Manuel Lee. Good player. Next, we got Len Barker. Willie Wilson. Fantastic speedster. I saw that Manny Pacquiao was about to schedule a fight. He's going to make a comeback. I like Pacquiao. I'll tell you, though, I waited for years for that Mayweather Pacquiao fight, and boy, did it disappoint. One of the few times I've paid full price for pay-per-view and was disappointed. That fight was a train wreck. Frank DiPino. Centering's kind of off on this one. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know he wasn't right. But even then, Mayweather wasn't even trying to fight. He was just almost playing around. It's a mockery of a fight. Ray Knight, fantastic player. You know if Ray Knight signs Jay? This would be a nice one to get. Especially on the 86. There we go. This guy was super hot in the mid to late 80s. Eric Davis. Man, he looked like the next great player. Oh, that's a shame. Love to get a Ray Knight autograph. That'd be great. I was a big fan of Eric Davis, especially when he was on the Reds through their championship in 1990. He wasn't really the same player once he left the Reds. I always liked this image. Tony Phillips. It's like they surprised him while he was signing an autograph for somebody. That's great. Hey, Jimmy, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. It's a great image. I always enjoy cards that kind of show a little bit of personality like this one. Thanks, Jimmy. Same to you. I'm not doing too bad. I've been sick since like Thursday, so I might sound bad, but I'm feeling much better. Here we go. Very, Very underrated Hall of Famer Eddie Murray, one of the greatest switch hitters ever. Power from both sides of the plate. Love Eddie Murray. This is a rookie card I'd certainly like to get. I think it's 78. Love to pick it up. Next, we got Jamie Easterly. This is another nice photo of, looks like him either giving somebody an autograph card or something. Cool looking image. And next we got Steve Yeager, another nice player. Hey, Ernie, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. I think I showed the back of this already. Next, we got Jim Lottie, or Jeff Lottie. Can't read. Next, we got Ken Phelps. And this was a fantastic closer for many years, Jeff Reardon. One of the best in the game for many years. Oh, yeah, Ernie. Hopefully everything goes well with that shoulder. I know that's been bugging you. Oh, I'll have to check into getting some Reardon autos for sure. Fantastic closer. When closers weren't regularly getting more than 30 saves, Reardon was saving around 40. Got a Tigers team leader. Looks like this is Lance Parrish. Yeah. All right, take care, Renslow. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. Take care, Hawaiian 50. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Next, we got Mark Thurmond. Next, we got Glenn Hoffman. All right, I'll see you then, Renslow. Take care. Next, we've got Dave Rucker. Here's a nice name, Ken Griffey Sr., playing for the Yankees. Yeah, I don't know too much about Glenn Hoffman. Next, we've got Brad Wellman. Jeff Zahn. some reason, this card stands out more than a lot of them. I know I've seen this card many times. Another story that I've told on this channel about this 86 top set. I think it was 88 or 89. I'm guessing it was probably 1989. I had a 1986 Fleer Eric Plunk Jose Canseco rookie card. And if you know, back then, that was the year after he went 40-40, and he was the hottest guy in the hobby. And I took his rookie card up to a card show and tried to sell it to a dealer or whatever, table. And he offered me 15 and I wanted 20 for it, and he wouldn't give me 20. And so I ended up in this, being a 12-year-old kid, that was kind of hard to do, walk away from an offer. But I did, and I walked away, and somebody pulled me off to the side and said, "I'm interested in that card. Would you consider a trade?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd consider a trade." We got Lance McCullers. And he said, "Do you like Nolan Ryan?" And I say, "Yeah." And so he pulled me off to the side, and he opens up this briefcase, and he's got a bunch of vintage Nolan Ryan cards. And he started talking about, I'll trade you this 1974 Nolan Ryan for it. And I actually tried to move up to the 1972 because I think that was his first year with the Angels, and I love the design of the 72 set. But he wouldn't trade the 72, but he said he would trade the 73. So I ended up trading the Canseco rookie for a 73 Nolan Ryan, which in itself was a fantastic trade, especially with hindsight. But stupid me, I took that Nolan Ryan straight back to that same dealer that offered me 15 for the Canseco and said, "Would you give me 20 for this?" Which he did. So that was a major mistake that it took me 20-something years to rectify as soon as I got back in the hobby. Both the Canseco and the Nolan Ryan were two of the first two cards I ended up picking up. But I actually, what made things even worse is I took that $20 and I bought a box of 1986 tops with it. So, yeah. It's another, that tells you how much I like this set. Damaso Garcia. This was a card I was a big fan of. Billy Hatcher. Great card. Next, we've got Juan Berenguer. Who looks like Forrest Gump. I hope you're not talking about me. Next, we got Bill Allman. AC&T Collectibles, thanks for stopping by. He's probably still mad nailing that seagull. One of the weird things in baseball history, along with Randy Johnson nailing that bird. Rick Manning. Bill Allman signs, huh? I'm sure I've got several of his cards. Dan Quisenberry. I remember the press conference when he released the news that he had been diagnosed with brain cancer. Man, that was tough to watch back then. Fantastic pitcher. I loved watching him throw. That sidearm almost sweeping the mound as he's throwing. Very unique throwing style. Fantastic pitcher. R.I.P. Next, we got Bobby Wine. Chris Welsh. Rick Manning signs too, huh? I'm not sure if I have any other Bobby Wines. Oh, this is a pretty decent card. Len Dykstra rookie. Not a whole lot of notable rookies in this set. This was certainly one of them. Oh, yeah. R.I.P. Quisenberry. Oh, here's another underrated closer. John Franco. Pitched well, pitched many years. Does not get the credit he deserves. I might have to send to Chris Welsh, especially being a Ranger card. Franco charges, that doesn't surprise me. More baseball players charge than any other sport from what I've seen. I mean, Jose Lean charges $1. It's Jose Lean. Fred Lynn. I like Jose Lean, but I mean, it's always better when you can get it for free. $1's not too bad, I guess. Fred Lynn. Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. Yeah, I'd love to get a 75 rookie. Always liked that card. I know a lot of people, even with the Pete Rose, a lot of people don't like those multi-rookie cards. I don't mind them at all. Yeah, I've seen that Fred Lynn's a fantastic signer. This would be a nice one to get signed. Next, we got Tom Niedenfuer. Is Fred Lynn the one that if you don't send him money, he signs a blue index card? Is that Fred Lynn? I know that's somebody. I was reading about him. Got Bill Doran. But he always sends out an auto, which is great. Hey, I wouldn't mind doing that. This was definitely one of the cards that I would always put aside being an Astro. Hmm. So it is Fred Lynn. I thought it was. Got Bill Kruger. Would definitely, regardless, even if it's a blue index card, I'd love to get a Fred Lynn auto. Along with Jim Rice. It's another one. From that 75 set. And then you had Gary Carter. I actually had the Gary Carter rookie at one point as a kid. Traded a bunch of stuff to a friend of mine for it. I don't even remember the condition it was in, but I was super happy to get it. Got Andre Thornton. No kidding. I've got 3 Nolan Ryan autos, but they were all in person. But I would certainly love to get a Nolan Ryan, especially if you can get around the fee. Was he charging like $75 or something? $50? It was ridiculous. Got Dwight Evans. I'd love to get a Dewey Evans auto as well. Yeah, Ryan's charging quite a bit too. I mean, I don't mind. I just sent out, I think, $20 to Sugar Ray Leonard, $10 to many other players. I don't mind doing something like that, but Carlton Fisk at 75, Nolan Ryan at 50. I mean, I got all the respect in the world for both of them, but that's too much. That's way too much. If I was going to spend that money, I wouldn't be getting an auto. I'd be getting one of their more vintage cards. Carlton Fisk, for that price, you could almost get his rookie card. Carl Best. Now, I know this guy signs. I saw that I think today there were a couple people that got him back. Bob Boone. Fantastic catcher. I bought this off of eBay. In all honesty, the guy probably spent most of the money I paid on shipping, sending a 800 card set basically. Can't be cheap to send. Ron Renicky. Yeah, I saw Peyton Manning does quite a bit of signing. I tried to do the email route, send him an email request, but that was about 8 months ago. I'm not holding my breath that that's coming, but I'd certainly like to send to him. I've already received Archie Manning. I haven't tried Eli. Got Floyd Bannister. Oh, do they? Okay, I might have to look into that. Well, a couple people got Bob Boone back on a sports card forum I was looking at earlier today, so maybe he'll get around to yours. I always liked Floyd Bannister for some reason. Next, we got Dan Dreesen. Oh, I hate when that happened. We got a Cardinals leader. Not sure who that is. That John Tudor? Oh, it's Bob Forsch. You know, you were talking about on your stream today, Bob Forsch had passed away. I didn't even realize that. R.I.P. Yeah, that Bob Forsch, Ken Forsch card that you showed, that would have been great to have signed by both. Carmelo Martinez. I have a friend that's from Puerto Rico, loves this guy. I actually picked up his, I think it was 84 Donruss rookie card so that he could have his rookie. There was a team, I want to say it was 94, maybe it was 93, called the Puerto Rican Dream Team. And Carmelo Martinez was on that team. They had so many great players on that team. Carlos Baerga, Ray Sanchez, Carlos Delgado, Juan Gonzalez, Ruben Sierra. It was just loaded, absolutely loaded. They had Delgado playing catcher. Pudge either didn't make the team or was injured, so wasn't able to play. But that team was stacked, man. And Puerto Rico's been doing really well in this World Baseball Classic, too. They just had a multi-player pitched perfect game. And I saw that they won today. Saw that Edwin Diaz had to be carted off in a wheelchair, so hopefully he's all right, but that didn't look good. Ed Lynch. Didn't Ed Lynch become a GM? I think he was a GM. Oh, man. Warren Spahn collection, man. That's an auto I'd love to have. I've actually been looking to pick up a Bob Feller because I was surprised at how cheap his autograph was. I saw an 8x10 under $10 for that price. I'd love to pick up a Bob Feller autograph. War hero, all-time great. Definitely love to have one in my collection. Warren Spahn's another fantastic pitcher I'd love to have an autograph of. Speaking of Winfield, here we go. Only guy drafted in 4 major sports. Another rookie card. I'd love to have that 74. Oh, that's cool. I would have been talking to him, picking his brain. Got a Ken Schramm. I think that's how you say it. Love those old Twins uniforms. Those are great. All right, so that's the first stack. Let me grab another stack. All right, next we've got Sean Dunston. I was a big fan of Sean Dunston. I watched a lot of WGN Cubs baseball. You know, they always played those day games. So I'd get home from school, pop on the TV, and more likely than not, the Cubs would be playing. So watched a lot of Sean Dunston, Ryan Sandberg, Mark Grace, Greg Maddux. They had a lot of talent. Sammy Sosa eventually. Was always a big fan of Sean Dunston. Hopefully he signs. I'd love to get an autograph from Sean Dunston. Next we got Randy O'Neal. Got Rance Mullenix. Which one do you have autoed? The Sean Dunston? Oh, nice. I think I might have his autograph on a Blue Jays baseball somewhere. Oh, nice. Yeah, that card looked great with some ink on it. Jose De Leon. He was a nice pitcher, especially once he joined the White Sox. Deion James. I watched a lot of him when he was on the Braves on TBS when they weren't very good before they started dominating. Oh, nice. That's really cool. I haven't really focused my autographing habits yet. I'm just, if I see one I'm interested in, I send one out. I haven't really focused on any one major sport or set or anything. Just kind of letting the sports card forum kind of guide who I'm sending to when. And so far, it's helped me avoid, I'm sure, quite a few of the return to senders that you see a lot of people getting. I've only had 5 or 6. Charlie Lee Brandt was another guy that eventually became a Brave, and I watched quite a bit of. Bruce Benedict. Yeah, Deion James was a great player. Got Dave Schmidt. Darryl Strawberry. I can't help but watch nothing but look at his cards and hear Darryl, Darryl. That was great. Man, he was fun to watch. All the talent in the world. Gene Mock. Really nice manager. Next, we've got oh yeah, hey, what's going on, Egg? Strawberry was awesome. Got Tippy Martinez. Next, we got Phil Garner. I know Phil Garner's a nice signer. Might have to get some of his older cards from the 70s and send off to him. Next, we got Kurt Young. Here we go. Hall of Famer Tony Perez with Eric Davis. Look at that photo. That's great. That's more like a passing of the baton. Right there. Love that image. Great card. Next, we got Tom Waddell. It's almost like half the cards in this set, I see it, and it just brings back some sort of memory from my childhood. I don't know any other set that could do it like this one. Candy Maldonado. Another nice player. Got Tom Nito. Randy St. Clair. Got Gary Templeton. Another pretty nice player. Yeah, especially when he was with the Cardinals. Look at all those years. 3 straight years he led the league in triples. Steve Crawford. Got Al Cowens. Scott Thompson. Rich Bordy. Ozzie Virgil. Another really nice catcher. Blue Jays leaders. Who is that? Jim Clancy? Yeah, Jim Clancy. Oh yeah, I agree. I agree, Jay. Egg. Yeah, you're definitely funny. I just saw the one you did, the card show pickups. Yeah, I was in the premiere of that. Got Gary Gaetti. Yeah, and it's funny. I'll go ahead and sneak peek. You picked up a PSA version of a card that I just picked up. This is a grail of mine. 1958 Orlando Cepeda rookie card, and I saw that in your video 5.5. I was like, oh man, I'd love to be able to get a 5.5. I had to get mine raw to be able to pick it up, but I still think it's a pretty nice copy of it. Yeah, price went up on the Cepedas, but I'm still happy to get that. It's the first time I've shown it. I was going to put it in my video this weekend, but yeah, that was a great pickup, Egg. Next, we got a Dick Ruthven. Yeah, we might have bought it all around the same time, too. Yeah, but I actually sent to Cepeda, and he actually wrote on the note that he sent the card back signed as a appreciatory signature, and that future ones would cost $20. So I guess he appreciated what I said in the note. Um, so he ended up giving me an autograph on his 72 for free. But yeah, he made sure to mention that he was charging 20 now, which for Cepeda really isn't that bad. But 10 would be better or free. And we got card 100, Nolan Ryan. And let me see if I can find the Nolan Ryan from the original set that I bought, because man, that was brutal. So the first set that I bought had a Nolan Ryan that was so off center. Let me see. Um, Actually, I think it's another box. Yeah, look at this. How off center that thing is. If you were selling a set, would you leave that in there? That's absurd. I mean, I guess if you like those quirky cards, you'd love this, but I saw that. I was like, man, this is basically the best card in the set. And you're selling me the set and it looks like this? Like, come on, man. Well, the bottom box ones had like it was almost like a darker font to it, I think. I mean, you can tell the difference between the box topper or box bottoms um, and the regular cards for sure. Yeah, that whole purchase was frustrating. Yeah, so back to the better looking set. I can't complain about this one. There's a couple of them that are a little off center, a couple of them that have maybe a print defect of some kind, but overall, very happy with it. Nice and crisp. Got Dave Bergman. GMA 10 all day, no doubt. I mean, it is super sharp. Joe Orsolak. He was a pretty nice player. Luis Salazar. Is he really? I know I have a bunch of Orsolak cards. I'll have to go through. Maybe send off to him. MIA, huh? I'll keep an eye on him. Trying to. I mean, I guess I can go through the chat and make a note of the ones that you're mentioning. Put them on a list. Send out. Got Sid Fernandez. He was a real nice pitcher. Long-time pitcher. Got Gary Ward. I remember an article in a Beckett. I think it came out in, it might have been 89. And he had just joined the Yankees and he was sitting there with Don Mattingly and Dave Winfield. And I think the caption was like, "Who is this guy?" And it's just got Gary Ward in the middle cheesing it up. Talk about no respect for the guy. Who is this guy? Oh, that's horrible. Got Ray Burris. I've only had, I think, two players keep cards. I've had more players send back additional cards signed than I have them actually keeping them. So I guess I'm sending to some of the right people. Rafael Ramirez. Well, those Desert Shield cards, not only are they shooting up in value, but there's not a whole lot of them out there. Especially in nice condition. Let me get something to drink real quick. All right, so we got Ted Power. Yeah. Yeah, that does kind of sting a bit. 57. That's got to be a $20 card at least. Oh, that's a good one to get. Ted Power. We got Len Matusik. Scott McGregor. That's a cool image. Roger Craig. Got Bill Campbell. Got UL Washington. Got Mike Brown. Love those old hats. Those are great. Got Jay Howell. He was a nice pitcher. Pitched for a lot of playoff teams. We got Slappy's favorite, Brooke Jacoby, the answer for every trivia question ever. Oh, cool. That's definitely one I'll have to send out. Bruce Kisson, Kyson. I'm not sure how you say that. I don't remember him. Even being on the Red Sox, I don't remember this card. Got Jerry Royster. It's a nice image right there. Can't tell who that is sliding in. Got Barry Bonnell. Here we go. Steve Carlton. Lefty. It's a nice card. Look at all those stats. Fantastic career. Be nice to get one of his autographs. Next, we got Nelson Simmons. Yeah, $50. No thanks. You can almost buy one for that cheap or for that price. I mean, for $50, you could easily. I would think you could easily get one. Pete Filson. Greg Walker. Yeah, I need more water. Hold on a second. All right, sorry about that. So we got Luis Sanchez. Davey Lopes. Very nice player. Another one I wouldn't mind getting an autograph from, especially some of his vintage. Hey, Brandon, what's going on? And that was a heck of a stream you had going tonight. Lots of great card community care packages, man. I'm just getting over being sick. My voice can't take all the talking, I guess. Here we go, Mets leaders. There's a Mookie for you, Brandon. Brandon comes in the stream and boom, Mookie. Got Jack Howell. I've got his autograph on a baseball. Wouldn't mind having one on a baseball card. I appreciate it, Brandon. I feel just fine, but coughing and a little bit of a runny nose. Outside of that, not too much. John Wathan. I think he was a manager in the early 90s, if I remember right. Got a Jeff Dedman. That's kind of a cool image. Wathen signs. Oh, cool. Now I know this guy signs, even recently, but I've heard stories that he uses an auto pen. You know anything about that, Jay? You know, can you confirm that, or is it like 50-50? I don't mind waiting. It could take 2 years as long as it comes back. I am a patient person. Being a PE teacher, you have to have all the patience in the world. I, from what I've seen, he hasn't been charging lately, but there are people that are saying that his signature isn't legit. So I think he's only one per as well. Auto pen's like a stamp or a machine that signs for you. I've got a couple Chevy Chase autographs that are clear auto pen because the whole signature is like shaky. Got a checklist, all right. Yeah. You know, I was looking on Sports Card Forum, and Ty Cobb has a nephew, I think. Maybe it might be a grandson or something. That actually has the stamp that Ty Cobb used to use to stamp autograph requests. And he actually uses that to sign your whatever you're sending to him. And I thought that would be kind of cool to get, even knowing that it's a stamp. I thought that would be one okay, Ty Cobb's grandson. Yeah. I would love to get a stamp that Ty Cobb used on anything, index card, whatever. I think that'd be really cool. Razor Shines. It's a great name, especially for a baseball player. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, send a custom, get them to sign that. I know I can't afford a real Ty Cobb. I mean, I guess they've got some like baseball greats or something like that that you could pick up for fairly cheap, or maybe a flashback card, one of the all-time greats cards from '76 or '79. Andy McGaffigan. This was a guy I was a pretty big fan of, Carney Lansford. I picked up his rookie card as '79 a couple months ago. I always liked this card. Babe Ruth's granddaughter, huh? That's another one I wouldn't mind getting for sure. He had one of the coolest batting stances there was. He'd shake the bat, and I loved it. Always tried to imitate it. Here we go, Joe Negro. Very cool. And we got Mike Hargrove. Nice player, really. Didn't he win the Rookie of the Year? 74, I think. Might have been 75. He won the AL Rookie of the Year. And he ended up being a pretty nice manager. Carney Lansford was cool. Just love that batting stance. Looks like a couple cards dropped. Let me get those. Okay, there we go. Now we're in order. All right, so next we got Charlie Moore. Mark Davis. He won the Cy Young. I think it was 89, maybe, as a relief pitcher. which is kind of hard to do. But he did it. He had one fantastic year. Daryl Boston, he was a nice player. Those are great uniforms right there. They scream 1980s. Love it, love it, love it. John Candelaria, he was a nice player. I didn't realize he played that long for the Pirates. I knew he played there for a while, but that's like 10 years. Next, we've got Chuck Cottier. Favorite World Series team? I mean, wouldn't you have to say like the 27 Yankees? Got Bob Jones. 69 Mets were a great team. 79, we are family Pirates. I still think you have to say the 27 Yankees. Dave Van Gorder. You know, the Big Red Machine. Those teams were fantastic. That that is a good question. I'm sitting here trying to see if I can beat the 27 Yankees in my head while I'm looking at these cards. Uh, Doug Sisk. Oh, I love this guy, Pedro Guerrero. Man, he was a nice player. Oh, Doug Sisk signs. Nice. I'll have to put him on that list. Got Jack Perconti. Next, we've got Larry Sheets. Oh, Perconti is a good signer. Okay, Larry Sheets. I was a pretty big fan of Larry Sheets, and not really sure why. He's a nice player. Oop, stack's kind of getting a little big. Got Mike Heath. That's another guy I enjoyed watching. Brett Butler. He was a great leadoff man. Sometimes number two man, but mostly leadoff. He was great at getting on base. Joaquin Andahar. He was a pretty nice pitcher as well. That's a great image. Next, we've got Dave Stapleton. Hey Tony, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. I'm just showing the 1986 Topps Complete set, card by card. There's a lot of nostalgia in this set for me, and thought I would share it. And it's almost an 800 card set, so made a lot more sense for me to do it as its own standalone video, as opposed to trying to put it in with some other stuff. Got Mike Morgan. He was a pretty nice pitcher. In fact, when I get to like 200 cards, I'm probably going to stop the video and start another one, so that this doesn't end up being like a 4-hour video. I'll probably break it up into parts, make it a little easier for people to watch. Hopefully y'all don't mind. Give me a chance to go to the restroom, take a little break, come back real quick. Won't be gone long. Ricky Adams. Brandon. they were all yelling in the chat about that. I didn't say a thing. Got a Bert Roberge. How you say that? Bert Roberge. My favorite baseball team's the Rangers, but I mean, I have a lot of respect for many teams. Um, Red Sox, Yankees, Dodgers, Mets. There's a lot of teams I have a lot of respect for. I really like the Expos. I wish they would bring them back. Bobby Grich, fantastic player, underrated player for a second baseman. He should almost get more consideration for the Hall of Fame. Him and Dave Concepcion are two people that I think are incredibly overlooked, especially considering the positions that they played, and two I think that are more than deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. And we got White Sox leaders. Every time I see Richard Dotson, I think of that guy from Family Feud. He's always trying to make out with all the contestants. Oh, that would be I'd love to get a Bobby Grich auto. That would be awesome. I have a lot of respect for the Astros. Unfortunately, I can't root for them anymore because they're in the AL West now. They didn't used to be. They were a National League team, and I had no problems rooting for the Rangers and the Astros. But it's kind of counterproductive rooting for another team that's in the same division as your favorite team, so I can't really do that anymore. Hey, Surfer, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Got Ron Hassey. He was a nice backup catcher for many years. Next, we've got Daryl Thomas. I accidentally nicked that corner. Next, we've got Oral Hershiser, second year. Man, his 1988 was incredible. What did he have, like 59 consecutive scoreless innings? Broke, who was a Drysdale's record. Man, he was almost unhittable all the way through the World Series. Magical year for this guy. Yeah, that 88 Dodgers team. Even though I was rooting for the A's that year. Yeah, you can't deny that Dodgers team. They had Kirk Gibson, that game 1 home run. Oof. They just put it all together. Yeah, they put it all together at the right time. Chet Lemon. And man, they had incredible pitching that year. Incredible pitching. And You've heard the saying, good pitching will beat good hitting every time. And that's what that team did. They shut down those A's. And the A's were heavily favored. Lee Tunnel. Yeah, that Kirk Gibson home run's one of the greatest baseball moments of my lifetime. Greg Gagne. He was a pretty nice player for many years. And the call makes the moment that much more special. I put that call in. They're not in the same category, but Brandon, I'm pretty sure you remember this call in the '89 All Star game. Wade Boggs and Bo Jackson hit back-to-back home runs, and it was Ronald Reagan was in the booth, and you just hear Ronald Reagan go, "Whoa!" And then who was it that made the call? I don't remember who it was that made the call, but they said, and Bo Jackson says hello. That's a great call right there. Pete Ladd. Oh, I remember that moment, watching that, just going crazy, back to back home runs. Yeah, that's another iconic call from my lifetime. Steve Balboni. Mike Davis. He's a pretty nice player. Balboni, man, he could hit the ball a mile. He was one of those early strikeout kings, him and Pete Incaviglia. They were like all or nothing, home run or strikeout. Rob Deere was another one. Oh, Balboni signs. I might have to send out to him. Dickie Thon. This was another card that I put away when I was a kid. Yeah, the Cubs, the Astros, and the Red Sox for this set really stand out for me. So those are the ones that, for one reason or another, I was collecting at the time. Zane Smith. What Grand Slams? Who are you talking about? Balboni? This was one of the early Rangers stars in their history. Jeff Burrows won the MVP. 72 or 73. Was their best player for many years. But only spent like 5 years, 6 years with them. Counting the Senators, looks like 7. That's a guy I would love to get an autograph of. Key player in the team's history. Got George Wright. Oh, yeah, yeah. And Bob Horner. Bob Horner had 4 home runs in one game, too. It's also something he's known for. Gary Carter, R.I.P. Fantastic player. Hall of Famer. Yeah. Kingman's another guy that deserves some Hall of Fame notoriety for sure. Bob Rogers. Yeah. Yeah, it really is. Got Jerry Reed. We got Wayne Gross. Oh, Jerry Reed signs. Nice. Gotta love that stash. Look at that stash. It's a great stash. Wayne Gross. Brian Snyder. You know, the only thing that can make this set any better in my mind is if they had the old Topps logo right there with the swooping T. Oh, I'd love it even more. Got Steve Sachs. Now I know Steve Sachs signs. I want to pick up a couple of his 82 Topps rookie cards. Maybe the Topps Donruss and Fleer before I send off to him. Another member of those 88 Dodgers. Kind of an underrated player. Got Jay Tibbs. Joel Youngblood. I love the photos they take where you can see the stands. Kind of takes you back to the 60s. Just love images like that. Old school photography. Next we got Ivan De Jesus. Brandon. You know, if you look at that 86 Topps traded set, you could almost say that it's 87. Because all those key rookies that were in that 87 set are in that 86 traded. Canseco, Bo Jackson, Barry Bonds. They're all in that set. I got it sitting right here. Got Don Mattingly right here. And he's not one of the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. I don't know if you know this about the top sets, but they would always put one of the better players in the league in the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 slots. For many years, they did that. And Don Mattingly is 180. Come on. More respect for this guy. Especially after his 85. It's a great photo. Oh, yeah, that's a great card. Next, we got Al Nipper. The dugout shots are another great part of this set. There's a lot of dugout shots. Based on stats alone, Todd Helton deserves to be in the Hall. If you hold Coors Field against him, no. No. But I do think he deserves to be in the Hall. And I honestly don't think you can hold where he played against him, because you don't hold it against the people that play in a stadium with a short porch. You know, so you shouldn't hold altitude against Todd Helton. And they didn't against Larry Walker. So next we got Bobby Brown. Scott Rowland. Advanced stats say yes. I'm not a big fan of advanced stats. I like regular stats. I'm not really a new stats sort of artificial stats guy. I pay no attention to WAR. I think WAR is a joke. But you know, I do think there's an argument there that Scott Rowland deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think he's helped by the bar being lowered by Harold Baines being put in. Larry Anderson. You know, you talk about John Olerud. Hold on, let me reach over here because I just got him back this week. I'll show another TTM return. Hold on. I showed a couple TTMs in a Rip 'em All's stream earlier, but I don't mind. I don't mind showing these Oleruds. So I got these both back to 2 days ago, I guess. These rookie cards, 90 Donruss and that old classic set. These came back for free, but I think he's a strict 2 per. And it took like 8 months, but certainly happy to get these back. So I'll be showing those in my video on Saturday as well, but there's a sneak peek. And the cool thing about this, and kind of got to block my address, but he actually wrote his P.O. box on the envelope. And not only that, and I've only had an individual write their address on the envelope like 2 or 3 times, and I've had a couple give me one of their sticker addresses. But I don't think I've ever had it for baseball. And he even wrote, "Please do not bend" on the back. And the only other person I've had do this was way back in 99 or 2000 when I sent to Vince Carter, and he wrote "Do not bend" on my envelope. And I actually had "Do not bend" on the front in my own handwriting, and he still wrote it on the back to make sure that they took care of these cards, if they even pay attention to it. But still very cool of him to do that. So I had a lot of respect for Olerud to begin with, but even more so now that he thought enough about my cards to write that on the envelope. Very thoughtful. All right, so back to the 86 tops. Yeah, I'm constantly being surprised with TTMing. I love it. Tim Laudner, from what I understand, I think he's an announcer now. Longtime announcer. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, here we go. Might be the greatest stash in the history of the game. Raleigh Fingers. I so want to get his autograph. I don't like that he charges 20 per. I mean, I don't mind paying that for a Raleigh Fingers, especially if I can get it on, his 69 rookie card or 70 or 71. But, man, I don't know about $20 for Raleigh Fingers. I almost feel like I could go on eBay and buy one for that price. I would have already sent off to him if it was 10. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate you stopping by. You have a great night as well. I'm going to be wrapping this up, this part here in about 10 or 15 cards or so. I'm going to get up, stretch my legs, go to the restroom, and then I'll start another live stream. See how far I take that. Maybe 200, 300 more cards. But I don't want this to be a 5-hour video. Nobody will watch it. Want to try to break it up a little. Jose Cruz. I was a big fan of Jose Cruz. I think Jose Cruz signs. I think he might charge, but it's not a whole lot. I was a big fan of Scott Fletcher as well. He was a fun player to watch with the Rangers. He eventually joined the Rangers. I think he's in the traded set on the Rangers. But yeah, when I was first really getting into the team, he was one of my favorite players, Scott Fletcher. They called him Scooter. Bob Dernier. This is another one of the Cubs cards that I'd always pull out of the packs, put them aside. Next, we have Mike Mason. Finger sign for 10 apiece for you. Is that who you were saying? If it was 10 apiece, I'll send off to him. I have no problems paying $10 for Raleigh Fingers. 20, I think, is a little steep. You know, I look at it. If you can get Brooks Robinson for $10, Raleigh Fingers, as good as he is, he doesn't stack up. George Hendrick, a fantastic player. Wally Backman. Man, when he was a minor league manager, he had some of the greatest outbursts I've ever seen in my life. If you haven't seen video of Wally Backman, just throwing a temper tantrum, I think at one point in time, I'm not sure if it was Wally Backman or it might have been another, but there was a minor league manager that like got behind the pitcher's mound and used the chalk bag to like like throw a grenade at the umpire or something. It's hysterical. I think it was Wally Backman though, man. He put on a show. He got his money's worth. Took a page out of Earl Weaver's book for sure. Next we got Milt Wilcox. We got Daryl Schooniers. Craig McMurtry. And a guy I talked about earlier about needing to get a call to the hall, Dave Concepcion. I do have his rookie card from 71. Very happy I got it. Key player on those big red machines of the mid 70s. And considering his position, he had a lot of power at a position that didn't have a whole lot of it, especially during that era. Now, this era of shortstops really kind of changed the game. You know, had a lot of home run hitting shortstops, but back when Concepcion was doing it, there weren't a whole lot of them. Doyle Alexander. Wasn't it Doyle Alexander that was traded for John Smoltz? I think it was Doyle Alexander. I think the Tigers traded John Smoltz, a young John Smoltz, for Doyle Alexander, and I think Doyle Alexander went like 9-0 for the Tigers during the stretch. But yeah, getting a rental of Doyle Alexander versus a Hall of Famer wasn't the greatest trade. Got Enos Cabell. If it wasn't Doyle Alexander, it was somebody else, but they still went 9-0 or whatever down the stretch. And it looked like a good trade at the time, but in hindsight, yeah, they traded a good one. Hold on. Missing card 200. Let me get that real quick. It's hard to keep these cards standing up. There we go. All right. right, so I got 3 more, and then I'm going to stop the stream, and I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes with another one. Oh, what's going on? They keep flipping over. I couldn't get them all. Couldn't get them all stay standing. I need a stack stopper or something. Got Ken Dixon. Got Dick Hauser. Well, I mean, I just bought these. I just bought these. These have been in my possession less than a week, so I haven't really thought that far ahead. If you watch the beginning of the story, I'll go ahead and tell it now at the end for those of you that are just recently getting into the stream. So there's Dick Hauser, and let me get to the last card of the 200. This is Mike Schmidt, Michael Jack Schmidt, and I know that he's signing through the Baseball Hall of Fame, so I've already got one out to him, and hopefully I can get that back signed. Now, I know there's a lot of people that think it's somebody else signing for him or something, but you know what? I don't care. I'll think it's a Mike Schmidt autograph, and that's all that matters. So anyway, so originally I bought a 1986 set, which was this one right here, off of eBay. Paid like $25 plus shipping or something for it, $20 plus shipping for it. And it got here, and cards from that this set were so beat up. I don't know where I put my sheet that had all. There were 177 cards that had minor to major damage, and I showed one of the cards, which was a Nolan Ryan that was so off center that I don't understand how you can sell the set, and the best card in the set value wise is the Nolan Ryan, and it be as off centered as it was. And then you got cards like this. I mean, you got this gigantic crease in it, like it's like a 2 inch crease right there. And there's multiple cards like that. Here's another one that I just came across. It looks like somebody stepped on it right here. And there's just multiple cards just like that in this. Here's a Bruce Boakty, I think is his name, and there's literally a crease from corner to corner. I mean, it was absurd how bad it was. And so I contacted the seller and said, did you even look at this set before you sent it? I mean, it's atrocious. And I mentioned that if I had kept my cards as a kid and tried to throw together a set, it would probably look something like this, because I had my cards all over my room and I was stepping on them left and right. And I mean, it just looked horrible. And he said, he said, I'll give you a full refund if you want to send it back, but he refused to pay the return shipping. And he said, but I'll be happy to give you half off. And, as opposed to, having eBay step in or something like that, I was like, you know what? Just give me half off. I figured if I got half my money back, that I'd be able to recompile the set, card by card. And I was able to purchase, I think, 122 cards of the 177 that I needed from one individual, and I paid like $12 shipped. So I have a little bit of money to work with as far as completing this set, but I'm not going to be able to do it with the money that he returned to me, unfortunately. I'll have to take a little more money out of my pocket. But what I was able to do is this set that I've been showing. I purchased that in the meantime because I wanted a mint condition set, and even if I put the original set that I bought together, there's still going to be cards that my OCD will look at and be like, oh, I don't like the condition of this card because the corners don't look crisp or something. And so I found the entire set plus the traded set, and I I got it for $40 shipped. And the traded set by itself goes for like 25. So in my mind, I'm like, I just bought the complete set for 15 bucks. So that gives me 10 more dollars to work with towards finishing the original set that I bought. And if I look at it like that, then I'll be able to kind of balance out the money. So at least it works in my brain, and I'm super happy to get another. I don't have the set. I had many of these as a kid, and I didn't have one anymore. I have all the best cards from the set, but yeah. So that's what I ended up doing, and I love the condition of these cards that you've seen. They do look like they might have been pulled from one of those 500 count. What do they call them? I don't even remember what they're called anymore. The boxes that they put out where it's just the cards. They don't come in the packs. I don't know why I can't think of the vending boxes. That's it. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, it looks like they came out of a vending box, and I'm okay with that. As long as they're sharp and crisp, I'm okay with that. Um, I don't usually binder my cards because I've found that if you put cards into a binder, you end up damaging the ones that are close to the rings. And so I don't ever binder my stuff. I'll just keep them in the boxes, and hopefully at a certain point they flatten themselves out, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, so that's getting everybody caught up on the story. That's why I ended up with near two complete sets of 1986 tops, which I certainly don't mind having. Um, but yeah, I really originally had just intended to get the one. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop this stream right here. Go ahead and stretch my legs. I'll be back in about 5-10 minutes or so. I'd love for everybody to stop back by. Anyway, I appreciate I appreciate everybody stopping by, and I'll see everybody soon. Everybody have a great night.